Arm assembly complete.
Hey, what's up guys, Massive here, coming back to do a video commentary this time, and we're going to be on the map Tournament Odyssey. It is a game taken from the tournament that was held last weekend. Anyway, up here in the top left position, or top right, we have Eric, I can assume, because he's not green, and Technique obviously picks green because that is his faction and color. But yeah, speaking of faction, Eric here, he's going to be ZOCOM. And down here we can see Technique playing as Black Hand. So yeah, Black Hand versus ZOCOM. I can only imagine that Eric picked random. In his series versus me, he picked random as well. Unfortunately didn't do too well in that series. I'd rather not really go over that series, just make it a thing of the past. But regardless, what do we have for scouts for Technique in this game? Is he going to anti-scout Eric here? I've noticed Technique doesn't spend so much in scout early on. He tends to stinge out on it a bit. Maybe he's not too confident in his ability to anti-scout his opponent's faction. He doesn't even know what his opponent is, so maybe that's why he's not over-committing to this. He is sending a Cabal up here just to confirm whether or not this defensive tower gets captured, which is a really good thing to do, because if you don't scout that it's been captured and you go to war factories and you send units through this area of the map, then obviously you're going to pay dearly for that. So yeah, I've made Technique incorporate that into his play, because yeah, I took it a few times versus him and made it very, very effective. But yeah, it looks like Technique's going for an operation center. Can only be a flame rush of some sort, maybe a reckoner. He's going for one single reckoner, I mean one squad, or not two. Okay. He must have checked his opponent's rifle squad to confirm that he is against ZOCOM, which is what I've mentioned time and time again is what you can do. So for example, if you click a rifle squad here and then you hover to the portrait, you can see it only has Tiberium field suits and AP ammo. Tiberium field suits only available for ZOCOM. But yeah, this is going to get stopped quite easily here. He didn't want to commit and run through that pit bull. I mean, the Reckoner is a little slower now since we nerfed it. And this map is very catered towards hammerheads. I wouldn't say that artillery is a major go on this map, just because of there being no contested Tiberium fields, and artillery tends to excel on maps where you're contesting a field. But this map, I'm going to lean more towards hammerheads being super powerful. In fact, I played many games versus Unleashed in the past, and on this map, he does his hammerhead build, and it was so hard to stop because what are you going to do versus it? You're as not especially, you can build bike buggy, but they're just going to get shredded versus hammerheads. The only way you can really cost effectively beat it, in my mind anyway, versus hammerheads in mass, is to go for those multi-MCVs. And you have to overspend crazily to get rid of those hammerheads and plant AA everywhere. Oh yeah, that's another issue with this game, especially with Scrin versus GDI matchups, where GDI go Firehawks and you have to spend like probably 20 grand on AA just to get rid of those Firehawks, and they still bum your tech. Anyway, back to this game, we can see that Eric here is going for double war factory, spamming out pit bulls, and he's going to go for a little counter attack here. Technique, if I were him, I'd probably go for an infantry transition here, but no, he's instead going for two war factories. Is he all in this game? No, he's not. I wouldn't imagine he would be. There's no need to sell your CV, by the way, if you're on double refinery. But yeah, these tanks are going to get picked off. I wouldn't run into that though, Eric. I think Scorpion tanks are going to tear you to bits here, but maybe not. He should do what I do, and that is put the pit in a line formation just so they don't take splash damage, which can cause you to lose many pit bulls. But oh my god, Technique's found a gap in the base. He's going to deploy near this refinery. Is he going to put a mine drop here though? I think Reckoners do take mine damage even when they're deployed, so if you drop a minefield here, they instantly go off. Nice block though with the Tiberium silo. He's going to save his refinery. Pitbull's returned to base. Technique, he does have his refinery. What MCV? Where's Eric's MCV? Why did it go back to base? Maybe he felt that it was under siege from more than just a Reckoner. But yeah, Technique's going to be given time here to put his tanks in position. Technique doesn't have a refinery. In fact, no, he does have one now. Eric's a little bit behind in this game right now. He is on 5 and 2 on this field. He is slowly harvesting it though. It's almost depleted. He will want to get a third refinery up quickly. But yeah, Technic's going to move out with these Scorpion tanks right now. Neither side has bothered to capture the defensive towers. In fact, if I were Technic, it would have been a good chance to take it there. But yeah, he's not going to have the time here. Eric's going to march through into this base. What is Technic going to do to stop this? There's just literally nothing here. He needs laser turrets, man. Laser turrets are buffed in this patch. He can make something happen with them, but oh my god, he's ignoring the tanks. I reckon he had enough to really take on the tanks there and before taking on the harvesters, but wow. Is Technic going to hold this back? He's still really outnumbered here by pit bulls. I think he is going to fall here in this game. Surely it is not going to be over for Technic just yet. And Cabal's obviously not nearly as good now compared to like years ago when you got the full Cabal squad for drafting to defend these situations. But yeah, pit bulls, they are reducing in number. He's still got critical mass though, let's face it. And the harvesters, wow, did they get taken out as well? I can only imagine they did. Technic's on a really... How is he going to recover in this game after this brutal attack of pit bulls and APCs? He doesn't have any APCs now, so I guess he can pump out a few rockets, but his priority right now is to clean this up, get more harvesters out. And Eric, meanwhile, he is going for that eco already. In fact, no, he's not working on his refinery. Oh my god, Technic going for the MCV sale. Going for that MCV sale, so he is in all sorts of problems right now. I mean, how is he going to recover from this? He's only he's streamlining tanks. Why is he doing that? He isn't playing too well here, in my opinion. He's allowing Eric to pick up way too many tanks, and Eric, he hasn't gone for that refinery. He's building one now, but I reckon he could have capitalized more on that attack way more. Is he going for that second refinery? No, in fact, it's just going to be a war factory. He had all the time in the world there to pump out more refineries, but I guess he just didn't. Anyway, Technic's going to be given time to transfer his harvesters though. Look at his economy, man. It's literally all but nothing. He needs to make something happen with these 4 tanks. He's reinforcing tanks slowly to the front line, but yeah, Eric here is already with enough defense. And if you didn't know, Guardian Cannons are super effective in this patch now. They do considerable damage, and the damage output I think is the same, but I just think they buffed the rate of fire of the Guardian Cannon. But Technic, he done this for Harvester to a factory early game move that you know he does all the time, and I found that those Guardian Cannons just rip through Scorpion tanks and bikes now compared to before. So could be borderline OP, the Guardian Cannons now. Might be on his shortlist here if he wants to defend this off. Anyway, he's on one war factory right now, Eric. He's going for a couple tanks. He's ZOCOM. He does have rocket harvesters, which can do damage. More useful than the GDI equivalents in that regard. And yeah, Technic, he's just picking off Eric wherever he can. I'm not sure why he lost this base here. Did he lose it to a Reckoner or something? Not that I can remember, but yeah, he is here. Technic, he hasn't got his MCV back out unless he's rebuilding it right now. I can't imagine him staying on this one refinery forever. He's going to rebuild his MCV right now. But look, the counterattack is already here for Eric, and how is Technic going to hold this back? He is focusing down the Scorpion tanks. Technic responding right now. This should buy him enough time to get into position to hold this back. He needs every harvester he can get right now because he's that far behind. And he doesn't really need to move his MCV there either because he does have build control. This refinery does provide ground radius. And Eric, what's he going to switch to now? If I were him, I'd probably go Hammerheads. Hammerheads in this game would be a good call because look, Scorpion tanks and even unupgraded bike buggy, they're not going to do too well versus Hammerheads. So yeah, he's going for infantry as well, which I don't think Eric has exactly scouted. He's still continuing to spam out pit bulls, looking to finish off Technic in this game. I mean, after all, it is a tournament. People are a little bit on edge, especially this being the first game in the series. I shall not spoil the result though. But yeah, this tower has been grabbed, which is going to be a real pain in the ass for Eric. Nice foresight there for Technic. I can only imagine that was the engineer that was from the MCV that you sold ages ago. 2 spikes still for either side, I think. Yeah, they are. And Eric spamming out infantry now, going for the composite armor or the ZOCOM equivalent right now. He needs to really go for AP ammo though, because he's going to be up against this infantry right now. How is he going to hold this back? He can go for sniper teams. He is ZOCOM. He does have the armory. That might be his only option here, to be honest. He's going to scout it here, and my first reaction in this spot would be to go for those snipers. And technique here, he's going to come across these pit bulls. He has enough rockets here to defend. His harvesters are stacking, so they will take a lot of damage. And wow, he doesn't have anything. He's moving in the harvesters for the crush, but immediately getting destroyed. That's not going to do too much. Pitbull's roaming into the base once again. They're not going to find any harvesters here for Technique. But yeah, Technique, he is in a bit of a dire situation. He does have double ref up now, so Eric allowing himself to fall behind once again. If I wouldn't say I'd say they're even right now, but not really where Eric wants to be in this game, because he was the one who had ages to capitalize on the early Pitbull assault. He needs to go for that tier 2 and subsequently AP ammo. That should be what he is upgrading right now. He needs silos as well. Do you see that? He actually needs silos. So he must be banking a lot of money, not macroing as well as he could. He also needs to focus on going for an expansion. I can only imagine he's going to go for hammerheads now. It makes perfect sense too. If I were him exploiting that much money, I would just go double airfield as well and sink that money as quick as you can. Scorpion tanks, they're going to crush infantry unless they are supported by predator tanks, which will then make them a little bit more resistant to crushing. But going for orcas instead of hammerheads, this game just screamed for hammerheads the whole time. I'm not sure why he's not doing that. Technique though, he's just given so much leeway to do whatever he wants, and he's even going for an expansion, I think, unless he sold his MCV again. No. Oddly enough, his MCV is actually closer to this field here, so I can imagine him taking his opponent's expansion. But I guess, actually yeah, because ZOCOM doesn't have artillery, they're going to be forced to feel the brunt of those nod defenses if they're going to contest that field, because they have no way to range them from afar like all the other factions do, besides maybe Reaper. But yeah, Reaper have stasis shield, which I'd say is more or less how you counter artillery. ZOCOM Firehawks are really good in these situations. They can easily detrench nod players, but you need to go for 8 of them. Which at least because of the laser fence. If you go 8 Firehawks, you can bomb even things like war factories when they are fenced, and that's what the nod players will do. But yeah, Dozer Blaze has not even been researched for technique in this game. He's just been non-stop trying to get himself back into this game. And I mean, if it were anyone else, I'd imagine they would have pulled the GG ages ago, but technique, he just held tight, and he managed to make something out of this. And he's going for mass tanks now, but surely he should know that he's going to be up against aircraft. I mean, it is ZOCOM, but my question to you is, why hasn't he gone for air? I mean, he's going Zorkas, ZOCOM Orcas. I would have gone for hammerheads personally. He's going to be up against shatter tanks, but look at this. Look at it this way. The Scorpion tanks have the speed advantage. That is such a devastating army, though. If Eric pushes right now with that army, Technique is going to be dead. There's literally nothing you can do versus this. Eric has an expansion up, so Technique's back to where he was before. Hammerhead's coming out on the field right now. Was that an engineer trying to capture that? Not entirely sure, but Flame Tank coming in from the back. Can you get a flame tank in elsewhere? This map is great for flame tanks because just look how much space there is around the sides of the map. Great for sneaky harassment forces. Mantis out in the field now for Technique because he is up against ZOCOM. He's continuing to pump them out and getting some repairs for these Scorpion tanks, which are not really supported by any form of anti-air right now. Eric, he had the time to move in with his army, which is looking very menacing right now. And there's a double refinery right there. If Technique ever recovers in this game like he did before, this double refinery is going to get clicked for sure. Because look at that. The distance between those refineries is not nearly enough to make up for the Catalyst Missile. And the Catalyst Missile is kind of misleading as well. You look at the radius and like, yeah, that radius doesn't... I mean, I could probably just click those there, but it's misleading because the radius is far greater. Expands like maybe a bit more than what you would see on the radius of the when you click the support power. A lot of things are like that in this game, including face. If you phase something, often units outside of that circle end up being phased as well. So you just have to kind of guess where what units would get phased. Zorka's out on the field. Maybe he thought for a moment that he was GDI. He's like, oh yeah, wait, I am ZOCOM in this game. But yeah, Mantis, just ZOCOM hammerheads are so tanky, they can just about take a Mantis volley. Redeemer out on the field now for Technique. Wow, Technique has able to get up his economy, but his harvesters are being sieged right now. He does have infantry though, as far as I remember. Yeah, he's moving them into position. He needs to go for more AA. Eric needs to go for a tech as well. He needs a Marv. He's got his tier 3 now. Is he going to go for that Reclamator hub? Technique moving in with the Purifiers. The Redeemer, he has a very powerful army right now. Is it worth putting rockets in this Redeemer? I would say it is, most definitely is, because will provide some much needed anti-air support. If you do lose the infantry here, Technique, you're in trouble versus those hammerheads. And there is 2 on the field. Eric, he hasn't spammed many of them. He's going for this Marv right now, but can he get it out in time? I don't think he can, because the Purifiers are in his base right now. What's happening over here? Scorpion tanks, all of them ordered to handle that attack. And that Rage Gen, I think, is just going to cripple this army. How is Eric going to stop this attack? Does he have a shockwave? If he has a shockwave here, that would be brilliant. He throws down the sonic emitter. Smartly going for the infantry as well, which do get one-shotted by the sonics. And yeah, these shatter tanks are doing work right now. Shockwave artillery is being used, and that's going to get some infantry for his trouble as well. Purifier Husk does fall. And wow, that was a bit preemptive, that tower cell there. But yeah, these shatter tanks should really be focusing on the Redeemer. Marv is out right now. The Redeemer is faster, so it can still retreat. It's not in that heavy damage mode, but it looks like he's just going to go straight for the kill. And he's going to go straight for the crush as well, because it looks like Eric used his overload beam. And as you can see, that Redeemer has its double rocket inside of it, so it should be able to get some more harvester kills for his trouble. And not nearly enough damage to finish that off. Anyway, Technique, he does have his MCV over here right now, so he is still in this game. But Eric had ages to finish it off. He's being attacked though in the back of his base, as you can see. And because Technique didn't get Dozer Blaze, these Zone Raiders are also going to be immune to these tanks. It's futile trying to crush them, as you can see. And Zone Raiders are very good versus Skrin for that reason. The Gunwalkers, which are what Skrin relies on to crush mass GDI infantry, cannot be phased as Skrin, or crushed with Gunwalkers. Not going for the upgrades either. I imagine he built those to put into his Marv, which is currently going out unescorted right now. And these infantry here, he needs EMP buggies right now. If he can try and get those out, he's going to be golden. He now has another economy set up. Eric, he needs to recover. He needs to build some more harvesters, unless he has some which are idle. I don't think he does though. He's going in with the Marv, but he doesn't have any support really. And those Black Disciples are going to tank a lot of that cannon damage from the Marv. Is that going to be sniper teams being dropped here for Eric? That's kind of weird, unless he... Okay then, well I guess he's just going to call in some sniper teams by Ox. And they're going to do work, especially since we buffed the sniper teams. He wants to get them out of the way though of these Cabal squads. Technique though, oh, throwing the hallucinogenic grenades, but they're not going to be affected by that. And cleaning up this attack quite readily here. And that may be just what Eric needs, a good engagement to continue on in this game. And the Marv going to be filled up with a sniper team. It would be nice to see a sniper team in the Marv, apparently. I don't know if it can shoot further, the Marv, with a sniper team in it, or if it retains the maximum range of the main gun when you put a sniper in it. The hard point range is so weird in this game, but yeah. Oh, he needs to get out suppression here. You need to press the default key for getting out suppression is G. He's not doing that though. He's going to get revealed by these Cabals. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Don't know how it's still alive though, but it looks like his squad is like half here and half there. The Marv is going to get chased down, but yeah, his micro is not on point right now. He's losing his sniper teams. He should have easily been able to keep those alive, and he's spamming out. He's going for harvesters because remember he lost many of them before. And is he using the shockwave on the infantry? Yeah, he is. Is there anything else happening on the map right now? No, there's not. The Marv is going to retreat. If this can retreat a veteran Marv, that's going to be really, really hard for Technique to stop. Just a couple more rockets and I think it's going to die. But yeah, there is no sonic weaponry to take this out. I think that Marv is going to go down. It is necessary for Technique. Otherwise, he's going to be in all sorts of problems coming back in this game. But this game is really back and forth now. Neither side look to be really doing decisive blows to one another. Eric hasn't inflicted a lot of economic damage onto Technique for a long time. Technique, as you can see, is being left to his own devices. He looks like there was some form of damage here. Was that the Orcas? I think he maybe sent the Orcas in, but nonetheless, Rifle Squads is pretty much all that Eric has right now. He's opted to keep his Space Command uplink alive, and really the only thing you can do as ZOCOM at this point is to go for those Hammerheads and Marv, which is a very lethal combination. And probably sending these in to scout to see where he is in the game. Technique, he needs to go for Tib Core. Did he sell his tier 3? I can only imagine he did, but that's kind of a weird decision considering you're up against ZOCOM. You would want to get your upgrades before then. I may have missed that actually as well. But the ZOCOM Shatterer here, oh, that was unnecessary. He's going to lose it. And this Marv's going to come out as well. The economy situation for Eric is not too bad. If I were Technique, I'd probably get a one-click and finish off those 2 refineries. That would definitely cripple Eric in the long run. But look at this Tiberium situation on this map. These fields have been left to regrow all over. So neither side is really dry out of Tiberium just yet. This game is long from over. I'd say either side would benefit greatly from a super weapon right now, but not going to be the case for Eric if he loses this base here, which his tech and his command post and his tech's lab is completely exposed. He's going to lose this power plant right now if he decides to focus it. Technique not really paying attention there. AP Ammo will be taking that out. Technique not going for that tech lab, it looks like, for the Tib Core. In fact, that's what he may be looking to do now. It would also allow him to go for that Tib Chemical Plant for the Tiberium Seed ability, which is worth it in itself, even if you plan to sell it, the Tiberium Chemical Plant, just for that Seed Tiberium, because it does return $3,750 of that Tiberium, which is more than what the structure it costs. But he can't just send his mouth out on its own. He needs to... Okay, he knows the infantry is there. He's also calling in sniper teams. Remember, Black Hand don't have Venom, so they're kind of screwed when it comes to taking those sniper teams out when micro, unless they go for buggies. Technique, he hasn't been given a chance to really go for EMP buggies in this game. He's got this tech lab up right now. He's probably going to go for Tiberium Core or probably EMP buggies, but he's a long way off from getting buggies out. Okay, I can imagine he's going for buggies now with EMP. He's actually already got the EMP. Okay then, so this is really the hard counter to what Eric has right now. Buggies is not only going to counter his Marv with the EMP, but also kill the sniper teams. So if he can just get this off, that's going to be devastating here. He's also not training any more buggies from the War Factory to reinforce. And if I were Technique here, I'd do a quick scatter move on this infantry. What is he doing? Technique, you're going to lose all your infantry. Oh my god, that was massive. Totally worth it, that though. But yeah, I don't really like what Eric's doing here. He's just wasting this. Well, actually, is he going to destroy this Marv? Those Hammerheads and sniper teams doing work. It's just Disciples left, actually. How did that happen? And the EMP blast that he really needed there didn't really go off either. Oh my god. Is there 2 dino spikes left for Technique? Yeah, I'm surprised that Eric didn't destroy those earlier. It looks like Technique has grabbed one of Eric's spikes, but that's going to get denied. The Marv still lives. He needs to get a War Factory up, or preferably a rig, because rigs do repair a little faster than the War Factories. And that's what I'd imagine he's going to be building right now if he has a tier 2. He managed to spare this base over here, remember? But look at Eric's Tiberium situation. It's kind of almost dried up here, so he may want to consider going for the other field, which he has a refinery there already, and potentially look to take this one as well. He should really go for double MCV. If Technique continues down this path going for infantry, multi-MCV is going to be really good. Not only would it allow you to drop down watchtowers, but you'd also get the benefits of throwing down those watchtowers on the front line, and you'd also be able to laser fence those war factories so they don't die versus the mass infantry that Technique has. And Hammerheads coming in with zone raiders inside of them. Are they all garrisoned up with zones? Wow, these are going to be pretty devastating for Technique, who has currently no anti-air at his base here. He's queuing a watchtower frantically here. He does have Tiberium Core. No, all this time he has not managed to get Tiberium Core, but Eric, with the nice focus firing, will be able to take out all those turrets before any damage is done to those hammerheads. And Technique once again amassing an army here at this base. But yeah, Eric, like I said before, there's still Tiberium on this map. He needs to make sure that he's managing his eco well enough so that he can grab it. And he's flying over the hammerheads. Buggies don't inflict much damage to air, but these are ZOCOM hammerheads, so they're going to be absorbing tons of damage. Look at that hammerhead though, it's almost dead. Are these also zone heads? No, they're not, they're just regular hammerheads. And I think this game is going in favor of Eric right now because of those hammerheads. He just has so many of them, but he doesn't want to send the zone heads into the infantry though. That would be bad, that would be a terrible idea. Unless he can somehow kite them, but I'm not too convinced of the zone heads kiting ability when you don't have the scanner packs upgrade, which he has not even grabbed in this game, I don't think. Or maybe he has. What's the other upgrade there? Is that even... I don't even know what that is, but... Oof. He whiffed that EMP, and that one, that could be pretty crippling here for Technique. He needs to get out of those hammerheads though. Once again, the bikes are swinging in though from the side. They're going to take out all of those hammerheads. And Eric just continuing to rely on this shockwave artillery to EMP infantry. He hasn't bothered to ever sell this space command uplink. Instead of relying on these support powers, he should instead just get an MCV out, man. Like I said before, that's a way better support structure. Way better in my opinion. Oh, don't tell me this is another sniper team drop. Eric, he needs to change his strategy up a little bit here. He cannot continue to go for this here. It's just not what he just keep on banging the door at Technique, and Technique's just saying, no, you're not going to go in here with this Marvin sniper teams. So easily shut down by Mass Buggy. I don't like it at all. And once again, Technique just going to rinse and repeat. Send in the bikes here to dispose of the hammerheads, but no, apparently only one hammerhead goes down, which is not really enough damage here, to be honest, for Technique. And these zone heads are pretty crippled in damage. The Marv is pretty much on good HP. You probably could send a rig in as well for some repairs, because rigs do heal faster. So yeah, he's going to come in here. He's going to try and harvest this Tiberium field. And oh, that was unnecessary, wasting all those sniper teams. That was not really needed at all. And yeah, there's only one EMP buggy here, which he has to contend with. Easily shut downable, if that's even a word, for Eric. And what is Eric doing? Is he just... yeah, he's getting the hammerheads back to a pace repair. He probably knows that he's safe versus more EMP buggies. And a Shadow is coming in now for Eric. This game is so weird. Technique though, I think he's just a little bit broken right now. He's left a few of his harvesters on idle, probably to regrow the Tiberium. But look here, man, he has a full load of Tiberium that he hasn't harvested. So I think that was a mistake. Maybe a misrally because of those zone heads that were harassing him earlier. But this is pretty much gonna be Eric's time to do a lot of damage here. He's coming in with the EMP buggies. He just has the ability to EMP, but no real army to kill the Marv, which is what's going to really damage him here. He's harvesting this Tiberium with the Marv as well. And ranking up again. This is like the third veteran Marv that Eric has had in this game. So yeah, making these Marvs work versus Technique here. And Sonic Emitter is coming down as well. Finally, with the second MCV, I recognize that a little earlier than him, though. Going for that second MCV is going to prove to be much more valuable in these sort of assaults, and even the second war factory with the laser fence, as I said. Either that, or he could have just made way more hammerheads and gone in. But he needs to think of this Tiberium field right now. He's completely dry out of Tiberium, unlike Technique, who has the ability to come back in this game if he makes another refinery here. So as much as Eric is doing well at the moment, if Technique is allowed to his own devices and gets that Tiberium field harvested while Technique is dry on tip, he's going to be amassing an army which Eric can't ever hope to punish or destroy. So yeah, the MCV is moving in right now. He may want to watch it though, because it's going in range of the infantry. That's definitely a dead MCV right now. Yeah, that's a dead MCV. He's going to throw down the fence, but it is going to be in range of all these infantry. That was not really well executed there at all. He should have scouted before moving in. That was another chance for Eric to come back and win this game, but not to be, I'm afraid. The hammerheads, they're still alive and around. He's made a few more zone raiders, it looks like, continuing to make them. He did get the scanner packs upgrade in the end, so I guess I can't fault him on that. I guess that was the upgrade he managed to get. And also, you should also put your hammerheads on hold ground stance so they don't wander off and do their own thing in the midst of a battle, because they often do that. Technique going to desert this base. And also going for the EMP control spike, which is a good idea as well, because he only has to really contend with the Marv and the air, and the EMP control spike being the bane of both. But oh my god, that was a terrible miss rally there. He's going to lose his hammerheads. That was some really bad micro, but these Black Hand squads, man, they're going to be very, very tanky. But versus AP ammo, I don't think so. They're going to get taken out. And what's Eric doing right now? He's made another MCV. He's moving in right now with the Marv. What does Eric have to really stop this? He's going for a watchtowers. He can probably silo block, or preferably power plant block watchtowers, because silos, they're GDIs. GDI silos have way less HP than Nod, which makes them way less useful against blocking enemy fire. They probably balanced that around the fact that Steel Talons can do the base push with Titans, and if they had a much stronger silo, that would be pretty much game breaking in my opinion. Speaking of Steel Talons, they have won the most recent tournament, which to my memory is actually the first time ever that I have seen Steel Talons win a tournament. Granted, it was by Crush, but still, that's an achievement in itself. I think that this game, if people bother to play the factions that they're not comfortable with, like GDI and ZOCOM and Steel Talons, you would see those factions prevail a lot more. It's just we have a lot of Black Hand players that are still around this game. There hasn't been many people who came through recently that are very good and have a faction preference. They just play random. The new good players nowadays, they just pick random and they're good at that. The Marv is here once again, unescorted. That's going to get EMP'd. I think Technique though, probably EMP'd with far too many buggies there though. Oh my god, that was a massacre. And once those bikes have used their volley, they're going to be pretty much taking tons of AP ammo damage after that. Oh my god, another zone head comes down, but it was totally worth it though, because he did save his Marv, which is probably going to rank up soon. And this could be it for Technique. I think that is really his last stand in this game. How did Eric come through with this game? This game is so weird. I'm not even sure how to sum this game up, to be honest. I felt that either side made too many errors. Technique, he went for Scorpion tanks in the mid game and didn't go for Tiberium core or any form of anti-air. I mean, it's he should expect hammerheads because he's against ZOCOM, but maybe he thought that he was against GDR or something and he forgot. I guess he just couldn't believe his luck and didn't realize that he was still in the game after those mass pitbulls were in his base demolishing his harvesters. But I can't really rule him out here. I mean, he is Technique, but I don't really think that Eric's going to lose this Marv here. Don't tell me he sent all those hammerheads back to that base. Okay, they're just here right now. He wants to escort this Marv, though, with his hammerheads. He can't just go in there without the hammerhead support. The bikes, though, they're going to get completely shredded by this. Wow, what is he doing? He's focusing on the Disciple upgrade. That is completely unnecessary. The hammerheads, once again, are going to be recalled to this Marv. Marv is going to take tons of damage here. And if Technique can get one volley off on that bike buggy force, I mean on that hammerhead force, Eric's going to be losing this game. I think I called this way too early though, because the Marv does go down. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought that he would have been able to gone in there in tandem with his hammerhead force and make quick work of Technique, but no, Technique has been given once again another lifeline. He also has a heroic bike. But Eric, he has Tiberium at his disposal right now. He has all the map right now. He should probably take these Tiberium spikes as well. Technique is actually being left to harvest that Tiberium field. So this bike buggy force here, despite Eric having the map, he has nothing really to show for it at the moment. A lot of rifle squads on the map, and that's about it. I mean, he should probably also order these harvesters to harvest this Tiberium field here. Eric hasn't been doing a good job at all at managing his eco. And yeah, I just don't even know at this point, to be honest. I mean, if I were in control of this game right now, I would be winning this as ZOCOM. all you have to do is just kite these bike buggies for days, and it just takes one mistake though and it's over. It's like Mechapedes, man. If you've got 2-3 Mechapedes versus like 20 bikes, sure, you probably might win with the mechas, but if you make one single mistake, like you go in the fog of war with your mecha heads and you don't see your opponent's bike buggy, then you're going to lose all of them in an instant. So you have to be on the ball versus this, and those hammerheads extremely good at kiting. I bet that Eric wished that he had zone troopers though, just for that added precision, because these bikes move super fast. And Sonic Emitters here doing work, taking out more bike buggy. And this is certainly a show here for Eric, throwing down those backs right now. I'm not sure why. I mean, I guess there is no MCV because of that. He probably can make some rocket squads. What does Technique have as far as harvesters go? He's only got 2 harvesters. He doesn't have any Tiberium though to harvest. Those zone heads still alive. But the heroic bike still is alive right now, but Technique has no income, so I think it's only a matter of time, to be honest, before he is dead in this game. One Sonic Emitter drop on this ledge here and it's going to be over for Technique. Oh, that was a Sonic Emitter shot. That could have been so much more deadly. Double Sonic Emitter shot, actually. Nice EMP though for Technique. He's going to still survive in this game, but for how much longer though? He's dodging these shots, but yeah, that one wasn't quite good enough. The heroic bike still remains, but not for much longer, and that is going to be GG now. There's no way that Technique can do it at this point. And Eric made this game a lot harder than what it needed to be, but an okay game nonetheless. I saw it on the replay system and I thought, well, why not cast this game? I haven't really done any casts in a long time. I noticed there was a new announcement from EA that a new C&C game is coming out. Remastered. What I'm not too fond of... Oh, EMP blast there. I forgot all about that. You could have got something done there. But yeah, Sonic Emitters camping your war factories. I don't think that's enough. Anyway, in regards to that remastered game, wasn't too fond of the idea of Petroglyph developing the remastered series. I think EA outsourced the work to them. I'm not too fond of that because look at the mess of Forge Battalion that they had, and also Grey Goo. I didn't particularly like that game that much either. I'm not too thrilled about that. And then even casting the old games like C&C Dawn and Red Alert 1, which in my mind that didn't really age well as far as RTS goes, especially in 2018 when we got like way higher standards. They should have just done Tiberium Sun and Red Alert 3, Red Alert 2, well, Red Alert 3 would have been okay as well, as much as I didn't like the gated economy of that game. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, I hope they do a good job of those remasters anyways. It is C&C related stuff and Rival as well. I'll give that a try as well. I'm not going to rule it out just yet, but you never know, it might be a good game. Aside from the microtransaction crap as well, which is bothersome, but yeah, that was an okay game. Eric maintained a stay lead throughout the entire game. Very long game, actually, 37 minutes and 16 seconds. Technique coming through, well, he almost came through in multiple situations in that game. Eric could have had it. Kill to death ratio way in favor of Eric. He killed way more units as well. I mean, to be expected because he was against Black and Infantry. He had way more expensive tech units like those zone heads and Marvs. He could have made way more happen there. Technique, it boggles my mind how he didn't go for Mantis a lot sooner and Tib Core when he had the opportunity to. But nonetheless, guys, hope you enjoyed this video and this cast. I will be bringing more first-person videos to you, and maybe even some videos not related to this game anyway. It's all up to you, though. Leave a comment in the section below if you want to see me play other games. I can do that, obviously. It's just hard to get a game that I really find enjoyable nowadays. But yeah, this is Master Leaf. Hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. Peace out.